What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, back again with another video, and today we are doing Cosmic Crucible Week 3 defense. So last week I did go 2-1. We'll also take a look at my bracket at the end of this. I do have some people I recognize, so that's fun. We did make some changes. We're finding out more things about Room 6 and what beats it very well. So last week I was using like an Old Man Logan Phoenix Force Odin comp, and it wasn't the most efficient. So we've moved some things around to be a little bit more efficient in that room. Room 5 we've changed up. Room 4 we've changed up. 2 we've changed up. So we changed up every single room except for 3 again. So we'll talk about 3. I hate this room rule, honestly. I hate this room rule. I honestly think if this room rule would be so much better if like protectors got an extra 100% damage and we could just throw 5 protectors in here and just watch the efficiency go, or like you can't kill the team fast enough. Like imagine how fun that would be. Just have like Cap Sam, Gladiator, Black Knight, like every protector under the sun in here. But with just this room rule, it's not worth it. It's just, I'm going to have the Retaliate room in here. In round 3, my opponent really struggled with this and almost lost a fight. Actually, somebody did lose a fight to this. Just Invisible Woman was alive at the end, which was pretty funny. So I'll take it. It is what it is. Room 3 is the only room that's kind of just meh. So I'm not too mad about it. Room 2, we're going to talk about. This one, I'm doing Liberty with Super Scroll, and this is essentially forcing a either Cabal or Immortal in here, and either one is a win. I think Cabal can do this with like Kang. Cabal Kang can do this, but it's still not great if they don't get the kills quickly enough. So that could be interesting. But the other way, obviously, Immortal will absolutely smack this, which I'm fine with. If you have to use Immortal here, I think that's good for me based on what I have in other rooms as well. And I think based on what I have in other rooms, people are going to want to use Cabal in other rooms. So I think it's going to put him in a little bit of a bind for Room 2. Obviously, Super Scroll, really good if he's getting turn meter still. He doesn't have the villain bonus here, but that's not the biggest of deals. It's really about if Liberty gets rolling and they get that speed up, immunity, all that kind of stuff, and they start becoming problematic very, very quickly. All right, let's go to Room 5, Mutant Immune System. So we've got Phoenix Force, Cyclops Forge, and Nightcrawler. So Phoenix Force back on defense. I do not want a protector here because I do want Omega Red getting that. I think it's like 20% speed bar on spawn. Maybe it's 40%. It's a lot from what I remember. So if there's no protector, he's going to get speed bar on spawn. We also have the placement like this because we want Forge super far away from Omega Red Phoenix Force and Nightcrawler, who are going to be the main targets here. So we want Forge super far away because if he ends up living, then guess what? He's going to ult, potentially do some stupid things. We also have Cyclops here in case they get an accidental kill on anybody. Then Forge will get the turn meter. Again, Room 5 is kind of a throwaway as well. But I don't need Phoenix Force on offense anymore. I feel like they haven't really been needed on offense, especially with what I moved to offense, which we'll talk about next because it used to be in Room 1. I don't need Phoenix Force anymore. I really don't. It's just not needed. It's not worth it. I was actually thinking about putting Phoenix Force in Room 4 with some other pieces, but I decided to keep him in 5. There is probably something in 4 I could do that could definitely be pretty good. But yeah, we're going to stick with this so far. Let's go over to room number 1. So for room number 1, we did have, Illuminati, Dorm, Pre-Taunt in here. Illuminati is going to be relegated for offense now because Illuminati Odin does great things into room 6, can beat pretty much anything, even like Mephisto, Null, Odin comps, doesn't really matter. So room number 1, we're going to be doing Night Stalkers with Scientist Supreme. I did see one of my opponents do this, and I liked it. It was pretty interesting. So the reason why this is good, Scientist Supreme is going to put slow, defense down, all that kind of stuff out there on the enemy, but also put it on your allies. But Blade passive flips 2 negative effects every time anyone takes a turn. So Blade is going to actually turn those defense downs, those slows, to speed ups, defense ups, all that good stuff. So that could be really helpful and get them going a lot faster. Obviously, pretty much everybody has Astral Emma on defense. The Emma from Astral on defense. So nobody's going to really be stopping the speed stat from Man-Thing here. So I think Night Stalkers have become really good on defense because of that. Obviously, Emma was countering them ridiculously hard, so I think it's going to be really good having them on defense again. And I realized I had a lot of offense last week. Like, I had, like, APOC Cabal left over, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess I have Cabal and APOC, and I just had a lot of weapons, and I was like, oh, cool. I guess I have Night Stalkers, too. So I'm trying to put more on defense this week, so that's kind of the teeter-totter that I'm balancing with. Room 6, we are also keeping the same. So we're going to do Null, Gore, Emma, Pre-Taunt, Mephisto. So this is still taking a very big team. My opponent in round 2 used Professor X here. People are using Odin on offense. So if they don't have Odin on offense, they struggled a lot. My round 3 opponent didn't have Odin on offense and had to 3-tap it. So this is essentially making you have Odin on offense here. I've also seen people trying to do like Old Man Logan Illuminati, but with the Mephisto in here, Old Man Logan Illuminati just doesn't work. They really need the if there's no Mephisto in here and there's an Odin, you can Old Man Logan Illuminati it, but without that, it's not very good. So I'm gonna stick with this. I really like this room. It's been doing good things for me. Again, they need Odin on offense to one-shot it so far, or Professor X, right? Which is kind of fine by me, honestly. I'm not too mad about that. And then the last room, Supercharged, I did make a change here, and I'm curious to see how this ends up going. Really feeding into the room rules here, and I'm curious to see how this works. So we have 3-piece Annihilators with Pav and Old Man Logan. So what Old Man Logan is benefiting from here is he's going to ult turn 1. So he's going to get his claws out turn 1. Him getting claws out turn 1 is an instant just pucker fest right then and there, right? So him having that turn 1 is really, really big. He's also going to be getting speed up from Pav, because Pav gives speed up to all hero allies, which is why I don't need Pav adjacent to Old Man Logan or Silver Surfer for that matter. And I have Pav next to the 2 villains here. So I'm really curious to see what somebody is going to use into this. I'm assuming somebody's going to try to do some kind of like Superior 6 bullshit here, and I don't think they're going to fare very well with that, which is going to be interesting, because I think they're going to look at the Pav and go, oh, I'm going to steal the speed up with Vulture, and then I'm going to try to go, and I don't think it's going to work the way they want it to. But it might. Who knows? It absolutely might. You can't rewind Old Man Logan. You're just going to give him turn meter when you hit him. So that'd be pretty funny if they hit him. They can't kill him, and then Old Man Logan just goes. So that'd be really, really funny. So be curious to see what happens there. Gladiator's obviously going to ult turn 1, get that taunt back up, heal up the Annihilator allies as well. Thanos is going to ult turn 1. That's going to be really, really big. So it'll be interesting. I really was thinking about putting Phoenix Force in 4 with like a really quick ult like Pav, and putting Phoenix Force there. But without Annihilators, Cabal Kang pretty much stomps anything in here. Especially if you're trying to feed into the speed up, because then Kang is stealing that speed up and using it against you. So that's not the best, but I'm curious to see how this does. Again, I don't need Old Man Logan on offense, so I figured I'd throw him in here. I'm curious to see what works in here. People are also putting Starjammers on defense, which it's an option, right? I know a lot of people have been splitting up Starjammers and putting them on defense. I know some people have been putting them in room 4. Especially just putting Howard in room 4 to stop the turn meter. And that's definitely interesting, because we have, potentially a Kahori coming in here and doing Kahori things, right? Which, fine, right? That's just kind of the name of the game. Kahori's going to do Kahori things. and I don't really have anything to stop turn meter unless I'm putting in like Captain Britain here, but I really need Captain Britain for room 6. But I was thinking that Captain Britain might not be needed for this counter here. It's interesting. You might be able to just use APOC because APOC gives the same thing that Captain Britain gives, which is the passive where allies can only be allies' speed can only be reduced by slow. So Captain Britain has the exact same line in his passive here. This only applies to Illuminati allies, right? So the speed of this character in each Illuminati ally can only be reduced by slow. And then APOC does the same thing, but it's for everybody. So we have Apocalypse here, and it is the speed of this character in each ally can only be reduced by slow. So it's definitely interesting to see that. It might be like an Odin APOC Illuminati, and then I could use Captain Britain as like a plug-and-play to stop any sort of Kahori going into room 4. So that could definitely be interesting. I know some people are trying Kahori on defense again, so if my opponent has Kahori on defense, he's going to have a bad time, that's for sure. So that would be pretty funny if he does. But we shall see. Another option, you could definitely do Black Knight in here over Pav to have that double pre-taunt so Kahori can't get to your Old Man Logan or get to your things, but Kahori is going to ult turn 2, so she's going to get a bunch of turns and then special and stuff like that. So that's going to be potentially problematic. And then you get like a Shadow King in here, and Shadow King does good things. So this is really going to punish somebody that doesn't have Kahori. I'm curious to see how people do against this. Obviously, I need a lot of offense to compete with people who have Professor X around me, which is a lot of them. So I really need to be able to one-shot pretty much anything. And yeah, that's going to be the defense. That's what we're looking at. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you guys think I could be doing better, maybe doing worse, whatever it is. But yeah, until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.